Have you ever wondered why some people seem calm while the world around them is in chaos? Why they continue moving forward even when others criticize them, doubt them, or try to distract them? It is not because they have an easier life. It is because they have learned one simple truth. When you focus on yourself, life begins to organize itself. Many people spend their lives searching for approval without even realizing it. They measure their value by the number of compliments they receive, the attention they attract, or the praise they earn from others. Every decision becomes influenced by the question, what will people think? Instead of living according to their own principles, they begin living according to expectations created by strangers, coworkers, friends, or even family members. This invisible need for validation slowly takes control of their choices, making them forget who they truly are. The more they seek acceptance, the more they lose themselves. They become performers instead of authentic individuals, constantly adjusting their personalities to fit different situations. This creates a life filled with pressure because it is impossible to satisfy everyone. The truth is that no matter how good you become, someone will misunderstand you. No matter how kind you are, someone will criticize you. Even the strongest, wisest, and most successful people in history faced doubt, rejection, and judgment. If they had allowed criticism to stop them, they would never have achieved anything meaningful. Understanding this changes everything. You begin to realize that other people's opinions are reflections of their own experiences, beliefs, and emotions rather than accurate measurements of your worth. Once you stop treating every opinion as truth, you free yourself from carrying unnecessary emotional weight. Comparison is another form of seeking validation. You look at someone else's achievements and immediately question your own progress. Social media has made this even more dangerous because people usually display only their victories while hiding their struggles. You compare your everyday reality with someone else's carefully selected highlights. This creates unrealistic expectations and constant dissatisfaction. Instead of appreciating your own journey, you begin chasing someone else's definition of success. You forget that every person walks a different path, faces different challenges, and moves at a different pace. Your timeline does not have to match anyone else's. Real confidence is not built when everyone applauds you. It is built when you continue moving forward, even when nobody notices. It grows each time you keep a promise to yourself. When you wake up early despite feeling tired, when you finish the work you committed to, when you choose discipline instead of comfort, you quietly strengthen your character. These moments rarely receive recognition from others, yet they become the foundation of genuine self-respect. Confidence earned through action lasts much longer than confidence borrowed from compliments. There is a huge difference between appreciation and dependence. It is perfectly natural to enjoy encouragement and support from people around you. Healthy relationships are important, and kind words can inspire growth. The problem begins when your happiness depends entirely on receiving that approval. If compliments make you feel valuable, then criticism will make you feel worthless. Your emotional state becomes controlled by circumstances outside your control. This gives other people power over your peace of mind. Freedom begins the moment you decide that your value does not rise or fall according to someone else's opinion. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, your priorities begin to change. Instead of asking whether people like you, you ask whether you acted with integrity. Instead of worrying about looking successful, you concentrate on becoming capable. Instead of trying to impress everyone, you dedicate your energy to developing your skills, strengthening your mindset, and improving your habits. This shift creates a deep sense of stability because your progress is no longer dependent on applause. It is measured by your own growth, your consistency, and your willingness to become better than you were yesterday. The people who make the greatest impact rarely spend their time convincing others of their value. They are too busy working on themselves. They understand that excellence speaks louder than explanations. They allow their actions discipline and results to communicate what words never could. While others seek recognition, they seek mastery. While others chase attention, they chase improvement. Over time, this quiet commitment transforms not only their abilities, but also the way they see themselves. Their confidence no longer comes from being noticed. It comes from knowing that they have remained true to their values, stayed committed to their purpose, and continued moving forward, regardless of who was watching or who was not. Every meaningful change in life begins long before anyone else can see it. It starts inside the mind. Before success becomes visible in your career, relationships, health, or finances, it first develops in the way you think, respond, and make decisions. Many people spend years trying to change their circumstances without ever changing the mindset that created those circumstances. They search for better opportunities, different environments, or easier paths, believing that external conditions are the reason they feel stuck. But no matter where you go, your mind goes with you. If your thoughts remain undisciplined, your life will continue to reflect that disorder. The mind is like a garden. If you leave it unattended, weeds will grow naturally. Doubt, fear, anger, jealousy, and distraction do not need to be invited, they appear on their own. Positive qualities such as patience, courage, focus, and discipline require daily attention. They must be cultivated through conscious effort. Every thought you repeat becomes stronger. Every belief you reinforce shapes the way you see yourself and the world around you. If you constantly tell yourself that life is unfair, that you are not capable, or that success belongs only to others, your actions will eventually reflect those beliefs. Your mind creates the limits that your body obeys. Mastering your mind does not mean controlling every thought that appears. Thoughts come and go naturally, just as clouds pass across the sky. What matters is whether you choose to believe them or let them pass. Many people react to every emotion immediately. When they feel angry, they speak without thinking. When they feel discouraged, they quit. When they feel afraid, they avoid challenges. They allow temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. A disciplined mind creates a small space between feeling and action. In that space, wisdom has the opportunity to appear. Instead of reacting automatically, you learn to respond intentionally. Your circumstances will not always be ideal. There will be delays, disappointments, criticism, and unexpected obstacles. You cannot control when these events arrive, but you can control how you respond to them. Two people can face the same challenge and experience completely different outcomes because of the way they think about it. One person sees failure as proof that they are not good enough. The other sees it as feedback and an opportunity to improve. The challenge is identical, but the mindset transforms the experience. This is why your inner world matters more than your outer conditions. Discipline begins with the smallest decisions. It is built every time you choose what is necessary over what is comfortable. Waking up when the alarm rings instead of pressing snooze. Finishing your work instead of procrastinating. Remaining calm during conflict instead of raising your voice. These choices may seem insignificant on their own, but repeated consistently, they reshape your character. Your mind becomes stronger every time you refuse to let comfort control your actions. Mental strength is not developed during easy moments. It is forged whenever you continue doing what is right despite resistance. Many people wait until they feel motivated before taking action. They believe the right mood must come first. But motivation is unpredictable. Some days it appears effortlessly, while other days it disappears completely. If your progress depends on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. Discipline removes that uncertainty. It teaches you to act according to your values rather than your emotions. You stop asking yourself whether you feel like doing the work. Instead, You simply do what needs to be done because you understand that consistency produces results long before motivation returns. A peaceful mind is not created by avoiding challenges. It is created by becoming stronger than the challenges you face. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to practice patience. Every setback becomes a chance to strengthen resilience. Every difficult conversation becomes an exercise in emotional control. Instead of seeing hardships as interruptions to your growth, you begin recognizing them as the very experiences that shape your character. Life will always test your patience, your courage, and your discipline. But those tests reveal the strength you have been building within yourself, allowing your actions to become steady, your decisions to become wiser, and your future to reflect the calm, focused mind you have worked tirelessly to develop. Your time, your energy, and your focus are the three most valuable resources you possess. Unlike money, they cannot be replaced once they are spent. Every day you are given a limited amount of each, and how you choose to invest them determines the direction of your life. Many people protect their wallets more carefully than they protect their attention. They think twice before spending money, yet they give away hours of their day to distractions, unnecessary arguments, endless scrolling, and meaningless worries. At the end of the day, they wonder why they feel exhausted despite accomplishing very little. The answer is simple. Their attention has been scattered across things that never deserved it. Focus is a form of power. Wherever your attention goes, your energy follows. If your mind is constantly jumping from one distraction to another, you never give yourself enough time to make meaningful progress. Deep work, real learning, and lasting growth all require uninterrupted concentration. A tree cannot grow strong if it is uprooted every few minutes and planted somewhere else. In the same way, your mind cannot develop mastery if it is constantly pulled in different directions. Every notification, every unnecessary conversation, and every temptation to check something unrelated steals a small piece of your momentum. Individually, these interruptions seem harmless, but together they become a powerful force that weakens your ability to stay committed. Not every opportunity deserves your attention. Not every invitation deserves your acceptance. Not every opinion deserves your response. One of the greatest signs of maturity is learning to say no without feeling guilty. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something that truly matters. If your goal is to improve your health, then saying yes to unhealthy habits moves you farther away from that goal. If your dream is to build a meaningful career, then saying yes to endless distractions delays your progress. Your choices reveal your priorities far more clearly than your words ever can. Energy is influenced by more than physical strength. The people you spend time with, the conversations you engage in, and the environment you surround yourself with all affect your mental and emotional state. Negative people have a way of draining your motivation without you even noticing. Constant complaints, gossip, jealousy, and unnecessary drama consume emotional energy that could have been used to create something meaningful. This does not mean you should avoid everyone who faces difficulties. It means you should be mindful of relationships that repeatedly leave you feeling exhausted, distracted, or discouraged. Protecting your energy sometimes requires creating healthy boundaries. Many people believe they need more time to accomplish their goals. In reality, they often need fewer distractions. Every person receives the same 24 hours in a day. The difference lies in how those hours are used. Imagine dedicating just one uninterrupted hour every day to learning a valuable skill, exercising, reading, or building your future. Over weeks and months, those small investments create remarkable progress. Success rarely arrives because of one extraordinary effort. It grows from ordinary actions repeated with extraordinary consistency. Your mind also deserves protection from unnecessary noise. Modern life constantly competes for your attention. Advertisements encourage you to want more. Social media encourages comparison. News headlines often amplify fear and outrage. Endless entertainment keeps your mind occupied, but rarely fulfilled. If you consume everything the world offers without intention, your thoughts become cluttered. A cluttered mind struggles to think clearly, make wise decisions, or remain calm under pressure. Just as you choose carefully what food enters your body, choose carefully what information enters your mind. Learning to pause before reacting is another way of protecting your focus. Someone may criticize you, misunderstand you, or attempt to provoke you. Your immediate reaction may be to defend yourself or argue back. But ask yourself whether the situation deserves your energy. Many conflicts continue only because both people refuse to let go. Silence is often more powerful than proving a point. Walking away from unnecessary battles is not weakness. It is the wisdom of recognizing that your peace is more valuable than winning an argument. Every great achievement is built upon thousands of moments when someone chose discipline over distraction. They chose to continue working while others wasted time. They chose to remain focused while others chased temporary pleasures. They chose to protect their energy instead of giving it away carelessly. As these choices accumulate day after day, they create a life filled with clarity, purpose, steady progress, stronger habits, greater resilience, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your attention is serving your future. Instead of being controlled by everything around you, success is rarely the result of one extraordinary decision. More often, it is the outcome of small actions repeated consistently over time. People admire impressive achievements, but they rarely see the quiet routines that made those achievements possible. They notice the strong body, but not the countless mornings spent training. They admire confidence, but overlook the years of self-discipline that built it. They celebrate success, but ignore the ordinary days filled with consistent effort. Every remarkable life is built on habits that are repeated even when no one is watching. Many people wait for the perfect moment to begin. They tell themselves they will start exercising next week, begin reading next month, or work harder when life becomes less busy. But the perfect moment never arrives. Life will always present excuses, unexpected challenges, and distractions. Those who achieve meaningful growth understand that waiting only strengthens procrastination. They begin with what they have, where they are, even if the first step feels small. Progress does not require perfection. It requires movement. Habits shape your identity more than your intentions. Anyone can make promises during moments of inspiration, but your daily actions reveal who you are becoming. If you repeatedly choose discipline over comfort, you become a disciplined person. If you consistently avoid responsibility, that too becomes part of your identity. Every action casts a vote for the kind of person you want to become. One healthy meal may not transform your body, but repeating that choice changes your lifestyle. One chapter of a book may not make you an expert, but reading every day builds knowledge that compounds over time. Small actions appear insignificant until they are repeated hundreds of times. The greatest obstacle to building strong habits is often the desire for immediate results. Modern life teaches people to expect instant rewards. They want quick success, rapid transformation, and visible progress within days. When those results fail to appear, they lose motivation and give up. But meaningful growth happens quietly. Just as a seed grows beneath the soil long before anyone sees a plant, your efforts often produce invisible progress before visible change. Every disciplined action strengthens your character, even when the results cannot yet be measured. Discipline is not about forcing yourself to suffer. It is about making decisions that your future self will appreciate. There will always be moments when comfort seems more attractive than effort. Sleeping a little longer feels easier than waking up to exercise. Watching endless entertainment feels easier than studying. Complaining feels easier than taking responsibility. In those moments, discipline asks a simple question: What choice moves you closer to the life you want? The answer is rarely the easiest option, but it is almost always the most rewarding in the long run. Consistency matters more than intensity. Many people begin with enormous enthusiasm, working extremely hard for a few days before losing momentum completely. They mistake temporary excitement for lasting commitment. A person who practices a skill for 30 minutes every day often achieves more than someone who practices for 5 hours once a month. Daily effort creates rhythm. Rhythm creates momentum. Momentum makes discipline feel natural instead of forced. Over time, the habits that once required determination become part of your normal routine. Your environment also influences your habits more than you may realize. If your surroundings constantly encourage distraction, maintaining discipline becomes much harder. Organizing your workspace, reducing unnecessary interruptions, preparing healthy meals in advance, or placing books where they are easy to reach are simple changes that support positive routines. Successful people do not rely entirely on willpower. They design their environment to make good choices easier and harmful choices more difficult. They understand that every small adjustment increases the likelihood of staying consistent. Failures will happen along the way. There will be days when you miss a workout, postpone an important task, or lose focus. These moments do not define your future unless you allow them to become permanent. The danger is not making one mistake. The danger is believing that one mistake erases all previous progress. Discipline is strengthened by returning to the path quickly, rather than allowing temporary setbacks to become lasting habits. Every time you begin again, without making excuses, you prove that your commitment is stronger than your disappointment. This quiet determination gradually transforms ordinary routines into extraordinary results, building resilience, confidence, patience, unwavering self-control, and a character capable of achieving goals that once seemed far beyond your reach. One of the greatest mistakes people make is announcing every goal before have taken the first meaningful step toward achieving it. They speak about the life they are going to build, the habits they are going to develop, and the success they are going to create, hoping that sharing their ambitions will make them feel more committed. For a brief moment, the attention and encouragement they receive can feel satisfying. But words alone create an illusion of progress. The real transformation begins only when the conversation ends and the work starts. Your future is shaped by what you consistently do, not by what you repeatedly promise. There is a unique strength in growing quietly. When your focus remains on the process instead of the applause, you free yourself from the pressure of constantly proving something to others. You no longer waste energy explaining your plans or defending your choices. Instead, you direct all of that energy toward becoming better each day. Quiet progress allows your attention to remain where it belongs, on your actions, your discipline, and your improvement. The less you seek recognition, the more room you create for genuine growth. Many people confuse attention with achievement. They believe being noticed is the same as making progress. In reality, attention can become a distraction. When your motivation depends on praise, your effort often changes as soon as the applause disappears. You begin working for approval instead of excellence. True discipline is revealed during the moments when nobody is watching. It is choosing to wake up early when no one will congratulate you. It is practicing your craft when there is no audience. It is continuing to improve even if your efforts remain invisible for months or years. These quiet moments shape your character far more than public recognition ever could. Nature offers a powerful lesson in silence. A seed planted beneath the ground makes no announcement as it grows. It does not demand attention or ask for admiration. Day after day, unseen roots spread deeper into the earth, gathering strength before the first sign of growth appears above the surface. By the time people notice the tree, years of invisible development have already taken place. Your own journey follows the same principle. The strongest foundations are often built in silence. Skills are developed through repetition. Wisdom is gained through reflection. Confidence is earned through private victories that no one else will ever witness. Silence also protects your mind from unnecessary opinions. The moment you share every dream with everyone around you, you invite advice, criticism, doubt, and expectations from people who may not understand your vision. Some will discourage you because they cannot imagine achieving what you hope to accomplish. Others may unintentionally project their own fears onto your future. If your confidence is still developing, these voices can easily weaken your determination. By keeping your focus inward and allowing your actions to speak over time, you protect your purpose from unnecessary interference. Results carry a power that explanations never will. You can spend hours trying to convince people that you are disciplined, focused, or capable, but one visible achievement communicates more than endless conversations. A healthy body reflects consistent habits. A successful career reflects years of dedicated work. Emotional calm reflects countless moments of self-control. These qualities cannot be faked for long because they are built through daily actions rather than impressive words. People naturally recognize authenticity when they see the evidence of consistent effort. Growing in silence does not mean isolating yourself from the world or refusing support from those who genuinely care about you. It means choosing your audience wisely. Share your struggles with people who encourage growth rather than those who enjoy criticism. Learn from mentors who challenge you to improve rather than individuals who distract you from your purpose. Protect your dreams until they become strong enough to stand on their own. Every meaningful goal deserves time to mature without constant exposure to outside judgment. Patience becomes easier when you stop seeking immediate recognition. You begin to appreciate the quiet satisfaction that comes from knowing you honored your commitments, completed your work, and became slightly better than yesterday. You no longer measure success by how many people notice your progress. Instead, you measure it by the discipline you practiced, the lessons you learned, the habits you strengthened, the fears you overcame, the consistency you maintained, the resilience you developed, and the steady confidence that grows naturally when your actions become stronger than your words. Many people spend their lives chasing success, happiness, meaningful relationships, and inner peace as if these things exist somewhere outside themselves. They run from one opportunity to another, believing that the next achievement, the next possession, or the next milestone will finally make everything feel complete. Yet no matter how much they accomplish, the feeling of emptiness often returns because they have focused on changing their surroundings without first transforming the person standing at the center of their life. Lasting change begins when you stop chasing everything around you and start becoming the person capable of creating the life you desire. The quality of your life is a reflection of the quality of your character. If you develop discipline, opportunities become easier to recognize because you are prepared to act. If you cultivate patience, challenges lose their power to overwhelm you. If you strengthen your integrity, people begin to trust you naturally. Every positive quality you build within yourself creates changes that extend far beyond your own thoughts. The stronger your character becomes, the more stable your life becomes. External success is often nothing more than the visible result of invisible inner growth. Becoming your best self does not mean becoming perfect. Perfection is an impossible standard that keeps many people trapped in hesitation. They refuse to begin because they fear making mistakes. They criticize themselves for every setback and believe one failure defines their future. Growth follows a different path. It welcomes mistakes because each one carries a lesson. Every challenge reveals an area that needs improvement. Every difficult experience teaches resilience. Instead of demanding perfection from yourself, commit to continuous progress. Even the smallest improvement, repeated consistently, leads to remarkable transformation over time. When you focus on personal growth, your relationships begin to change as well. You become a better listener because you are no longer waiting for your turn to speak. You become more patient because you understand that everyone is fighting battles you cannot see. You stop trying to control other people because you recognize that your greatest responsibility is controlling yourself. Healthy relationships are built when two people bring maturity, respect, and emotional stability to each interaction. By improving yourself first, you naturally improve the way you connect with others. Your habits also influence the opportunities that come into your life. People often describe success as luck, but what appears to be luck is frequently preparation meeting opportunity. Imagine two people receiving the same chance. One has spent years developing valuable skills, building discipline and strengthening character. The other has spent those years making excuses and avoiding responsibility. The opportunity is identical, but the outcome is completely different. The prepared individual recognizes the moment and acts with confidence because they have already done the necessary work. Becoming your best self ensures that when opportunity arrives, you are ready instead of wishing you had prepared sooner. Life has a remarkable way of responding to the energy you bring into it. When your actions are guided by purpose instead of fear, people notice your reliability. When you consistently show respect, respect often returns. When you approach difficulties with calm determination, solutions become easier to discover because your mind remains clear. This does not mean life becomes free from hardship. Challenges will always exist. The difference is that your response changes. You no longer depend on perfect circumstances to maintain your peace because your strength comes from within rather than from the world around you. Many people underestimate the quiet influence of daily self-improvement. Reading a few pages each day may seem insignificant until years of knowledge have accumulated. Choosing kindness during moments of frustration may seem unnoticed until trust has been built over countless interactions. Saving a small amount consistently may seem slow until financial security begins to grow. Every meaningful achievement is created by ordinary actions, repeated long enough to produce extraordinary results. Your future is not shaped by occasional moments of greatness, but by the habits you practice every single day. When you become committed to growing mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, life gradually begins to align in ways that once seemed impossible. Your decisions become wiser because your thinking becomes clearer. Your confidence becomes stronger because it is built upon real discipline rather than temporary emotions. Your goals become more achievable because your actions become consistent. The chaos that once surrounded your life slowly gives way to clarity, purpose, resilience, stronger relationships, meaningful opportunities, lasting fulfillment, and a deep sense of peace that comes from knowing you have become the person you were always capable of becoming because you became the kind of person they naturally gravitate toward. Life often works like a shadow. If you chase your shadow, you never catch it. If you walk toward the light, the shadow follows you effortlessly. Stop chasing everything outside yourself. Walk toward becoming the strongest version of who you can be. Then watch everything else slowly begin to fall into place.